In the US, a formerly key political partnership is imploding in spectacular fashion tonight as a bitter war of words develops between Donald Trump and Elon Musk.
The bromance between Donald Trump and Elon Musk has officially gone full Kanye and anyone with boundaries. And honestly, it was never a matter of if, it was just a matter of when. Because this is what happens when two narcissistic jackasses, one a washed-up reality TV star turned wannabe dictator, and the other a tech bro Bond villain with main character syndrome, try to cosplay as the final bosses of America. Eventually, the egos clash, and the dysfunction turns inward like a snake swallowing its own tail, just with more tweets and way less intelligence. Let's break it down. Trump, a man whose entire personality is built on loyalty tests and delusional grievance, has always expected his bootlickers to stay in formation. Meanwhile, Elon Musk is out here playing CEO dress-up while doing dollar store philosophy on Twitter, thinking he's some kind of free speech messiah when really he's just a rich dude with zero charisma and a god complex. These two were never built for long-term synergy. One can't handle being questioned, the other can't handle not being worshipped. And now, because Musk isn't sucking the Trump teat hard enough, refusing to fully endorse him or bow down to MAGA orthodoxy, Trump's lashing out on Truth Social like a scorned ex with a burner account. This motherfucker called Musk a bullshit artist and dragged up the old "I made you" narrative like some mob boss from a failed Netflix crime drama. And Elon? He claps back with his signature limp-wristed nerd smugness, basically calling Trump old and irrelevant. It's like watching two Dollar Tree Lex Luthors slap fight over who's the real savior of America, while the rest of us are just trying to afford rent. Let's be real. Trump turning on Musk was inevitable. Trump turns on everyone. Ask Mike Pence. Ask Ron DeSantis. Ask his own damn lawyers. The man burns bridges the way some people burn incense. Ritually, repeatedly, and with the false belief it makes him look enlightened. And Musk? He thought he could ride the populist dragon without getting scorched. But when you give a fascist wannabe a platform and expect him to be loyal, that's not just dumb. That's billionaire level dumb. And now he's learning the hard way that Trump doesn't care how rich or famous you are. If you're not feeding his ego or furthering his power grab, you're just another loser in the way. So yeah, welcome to the slow motion train wreck that is Trump versus Musk. Popcorn's on the right. Facts are on the left. And somewhere in the middle, two fragile men are crying into their stock portfolios, wondering why America doesn't love them as much as they love themselves. So word on the street is Elon might have shelled out hundreds of millions, not just to grease the gears for Trump's election push, but maybe even to keep him out of a jumpsuit. Now, while that's still speculative as hell, there was that weird-ass moment caught on camera. Trump leaning in, whispering sweet nothings to some rich donor type like he just sealed a blood pact, while a female federal judge gave him that "I know you're full of shit, but proceed" look. Combine that with the usual Trump theatrics, and the MAGA rumor mill had a field day. But let's focus on Elon. Why the hell would a so-called genius billionaire simp for a political movement that literally eats its own? Because Musk doesn't give a damn about Republican or Democrat values. He never has. He plays both sides, but not because he's a centrist. No, it's because he only backs whoever can help him play God without government oversight. Elon's whole vibe has always been tech messiah meets anti-regulation crybaby. He wants to build rocket empires, underground tunnels, brain chips, and a global satellite network. And he wants to do it all without pesky little things like laws or accountability. He's not left-wing, and he's sure as fuck not conservative in the traditional sense. He's what you get when Ayn Rand and Reddit had a baby in a South African emerald mine. Socially awkward, entitled, and drunk on delusions of saviorhood. He flirted with the Obama-era green energy crowd when it meant Tesla subsidies, then jumped ship to MAGA land when he realized the right would let him spew unhinged tweets, union bust in peace, and call it free speech. And Trump? Trump loved that. Because what's better than a billionaire ally who's willing to kill government agencies from the inside out and bankroll the circus while pretending it's a revolution? Musk wasn't just licking the MAGA ring. He was trying to become the new high priest of the anti-government cult. He's been at war with the SEC, clowned OSHA, trashed public transit, and tried to replace public infrastructure with his own for-profit toys. The man tried to make a fucking flamethrower a consumer product like he's Tony Stark on meth. This whole bromance was never about loyalty. It was about utility. Elon needed Trump to deregulate and idolize him. Trump needed Elon's money and tech influence to prop up his "I'm not a crook, I'm a victim" narrative. But here's the kicker. You can't out-narcissist Trump. You could write him a $1 billion check, and if you don't kiss the ring on live TV and tweet about how he's the second coming of Lincoln, he'll throw your ass under the nearest campaign bus and then back over you again for the camera angle. So now Musk is learning, like everyone else in Trump's orbit, that feeding the beast doesn't tame it. It just makes you lunch later. Elon Musk calling himself a free speech absolutist is like Trump calling himself humble. It's a fucking joke. And the punchline? China. That's right. The man who turned Twitter into a raging dumpster fire of trolls, fake news, and Proud Boy cosplay somehow loses his whole damn voice when it comes to the Chinese Communist Party. Suddenly, the guy who can't shut the fuck up about cancel culture is more silent than Melania at a Trump indictment hearing. Why? Because money talks. And Musk shuts the hell up when it does. Tesla made over $21 billion in China last year. That ain't pocket change. That's the entire reason he's tongue-kissing Xi Jinping's boot leather. This so-called champion of free expression literally contributed a fucking op-ed to a Chinese state-run propaganda outlet, like deadass wrote for the censorship department. That's like if Edward Snowden decided to guest write for the NSA's holiday newsletter. Meanwhile, back in the States, he's suspending journalists, banning left-wing accounts, and crying about woke mind virus, like a dude who just discovered Reddit for the first time. And the best part? He still tries to play it off like he's some neutral centrist crusader for truth. Bro, you're not a free speech warrior. You're a capitalist coward with a god complex who cherry picks when to care based on how fat the check is. If the Chinese government told him to block tweets calling Xi Winnie the Pooh, Elon would be like, "Yes, Daddy, deleting now." But when a Brazilian court tells him to take down literal death threats or Nazi memes, suddenly it's the fall of democracy and time to go full whistleblower cosplay. Give me a break. This motherfucker isn't protecting speech, he's protecting stock. And that's the real tea. Elon's entire free speech shtick is just a branding campaign, one that conveniently disappears anytime his bottom line's at risk. Because at the end of the day, the only speech Elon Musk cares about is the kind that praises Elon Musk. So yeah, the next time you see some Elon simp talking about how he's fighting for our First Amendment rights, remind them, the only thing Elon fights for is market share. And the only thing he censors is anything that might piss off his sugar daddies in Beijing. Let's dive into the tangled mess that is Elon Musk and Donald Trump's tech bromance turned bitter feud. This isn't just a battle between two egomaniacs. It's a high-stakes drama with billions on the line and the future of tech and politics hanging in the balance. The billion-dollar bromance that went bust. Elon Musk, the self-proclaimed free speech crusader, threw over $250 million into Trump's 2024 campaign, even taking a brief stint in the administration to slash government bureaucracy. But when Musk dared to criticize Trump's budget legislation, the orange overlord retaliated by threatening to pull $22 billion in government contracts from Musk's companies. The result? Tesla's stock plummeted 14%, and SpaceX investments took a 13% hit, wiping out $150 billion in market value. Musk's China connection. The silent partner. While Musk was busy playing political games in the US, he was also cozying up to China. Tesla's Shanghai Gigafactory, built with $1.4 billion in loans from Chinese banks, now produces over half of Tesla's global deliveries. In 2023, Tesla raked in $21.75 billion from its China operations, accounting for about 22.5% of its total revenue. But here's the kicker. Musk, the free speech absolutist, wrote an op-ed for China's Cyberspace Administration, praising the country's technological advancements while conveniently ignoring its censorship and human rights abuses. When Chinese consumers complained about Tesla's faulty vehicles, the company didn't fix the problems. Instead, it called on the Chinese government to censor critics online. The fallout, a cautionary tale. Musk's attempt to play both sides has backfired spectacularly. His entanglement with China has raised national security concerns in the US, with critics questioning whether his business interests compromise his ability to act independently. Meanwhile, his feud with Trump has alienated both pro-renewable Democrats and pro-Trump Republicans, leaving Musk politically isolated and financially vulnerable. Musk's downfall serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked ambition and the perils of trying to straddle the line between business and politics. As he grapples with the consequences of his actions, one thing is clear. In the high-stakes game of tech and politics, even the richest man in the world isn't immune to the fallout. So what's going to happen to Elon Musk long-term? My prediction, he's going to implode under the weight of his own bullshit. Straight up. This dude is playing 4D chess with a checkerboard made of lies, inflated ego, and shady-ass global interests. And that shit's not sustainable. He's already burned through goodwill from the left and the right. Liberals see him as a union-busting, apartheid emerald brat cosplaying as a philosopher king. And the far right is turning on him now that Trump's back on his alpha male hissy fit. Financially, he's going to keep bleeding. Tesla's bubble is looking shakier by the month, SpaceX is under federal scrutiny, and X, formerly known as Twitter, RIP, is a content moderation graveyard overrun with bots, hate speech, and Elon's fragile-ass ego. As governments start waking up to how much geopolitical leverage he's handed authoritarian regimes like China, expect regulatory hammer blows from both the US and EU. Long story short, dude went from Tony Stark to Bond villain in a discount suit, and he's heading toward being a broke-ass Lex Luthor with a burner phone. Now, onto MAGA and the GOP's crystal meth-fueled future. The Republican Party by 2028, that shit is going to be unrecognizable, if it even still exists in its current form. MAGA is a cult, not a movement. Trump was the messiah figure, and once he either dies, which, come on, McDonald's and Stress are undefeated, or gets legally neutered by the justice system, the base is going to splinter hard. The QAnon wing, the Christian nationalist wing, the Elon fanboys, the just here to own the libs crowd, they're all going to be fighting for control, and it'll look like a bar brawl at a Cracker Barrel. They could try to rebrand, like they always do. Throw a brown face on fascism, slap some new buzzwords on trickle-down economics, and sell compassionate conservatism again. But nah, the internet receipts are too damn loud. Everyone under 40 has seen the GOP's insanity unfiltered through TikTok, Reddit, and unhinged Facebook rants. The youth vote is done playing nice. And after Trump, there's no going back to respectable racism in khakis and golf polos. The monster's out the cage, and it's foaming at the mouth. Will America say fuck no to another Republican president in 2028? If Trump's still the face of the party or someone trying to out Trump is leading the ticket, then yes, a huge chunk of the country will slam the door shut, especially suburban women, black voters, Muslim voters, and anyone under 35 with a functioning brainstem. But if they find some smooth-talking, AI-using, crypto-backed fascist with a smile who speaks in centrist platitudes and hides their extremism in boring policy talk, maybe they'll snake their way back into power. The GOP is good at branding, but MAGA, that beast is allergic to nuance, and that's going to be their downfall. So here's my final forecast. Elon crashes, MAGA eats itself alive, and the GOP is forced to reckon with the rot it let fester. Meanwhile, America limps forward bruised and jaded, but a little wiser, hopefully electing someone in 2028 who isn't batshit insane or trying to sell nukes on Truth Social.